Well, normally, thanks for the question. Strictly in terms of competition, what should happen when there's a price increase is that this should open up the market more to competitors so that they compete away the prices, because that's competition. But in this case, the price increases are informed by the weakening of the Namibian dollar against the US dollar, obviously. So the response there is probably going to be more in terms of how consumers react to the price increase. And they can react in one of two ways. One, they could either switch away from this product and switch to other substitutes, or what they could do is divert their spending from this, from other products that they consider non-essential, so that they're able to cater for the price increase of these basic goods.
Let's also talk about mahangu meal. Mahangu meal being that is the major staple food for over 50%, of the Namibian population. Mahangu meal will be increased by 20%. That's a lot, But how would this affect the consumer?
All right. Well, that's an interesting question, but perhaps we need to clarify that when it comes to mahangu meal, the bulk of mahangu produced in Namibia, or a large portion of that mahangu, is produced by subsistence farmers in the northern part of the region, and they produce this obviously for personal consumption. And the other portion is either produced locally or imported as grains and then milled by millers like Nami Mills, and then refined, sold in local supermarkets. So this is the portion that is exposed to the 20% price increase. And like they said, it was justified by the currency depreciation. So what would happen here in response, as I have said earlier, the consumers either switch away or they divert spending to this from other products. Now, this is not to say that subsistence farmers are obviously not affected, because we know we're facing a serious drought situation. And what may result is that the shortage in mahangu production as a result of the drought may mean that the subsistence farmers would either have to buy their mahangu from the stores or substitute away. And in the case of mahangu shortage, normally you would find that maize meal is considered a substitute, and that is also affected to price increases. So obviously the consumer is negatively affected, whether subsistence farmers or not.
Let's talk about, prices are expected to increase due to drought in the country, but what mechanisms are in place to control this?
Price increases. Well, to be frank, there currently is no form of price control in Namibia, and price setting mechanisms by sellers or producers is informed solely by the competitive process, issues of supply and demand. So be that as it may, the Ministry of Trade and Industry, has put in place a mechanism whereby they have mandated the Competition Commission to collect annual price data of some commodities so as to assess for whether there are concerns of excessive pricing. But here it's mostly on commodities which have infant industry protection. So what they want to do there is ensure that there isn't an abuse of the infant industry protection. Additional to that, the Competition Commission has been mandated through its act with the powers to assess issues of excessive pricing. And so what it does is it conducts independent studies to try and understand the pricing mechanism, the cost structures of local sellers and producers, to see whether there might be any concerns of excessive pricing, and then deal with that as mandated by the Competition Act.